YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Ro, back after a few days of not posting, but I'm here again. And yeah, I'm sorry for slipping up. Honestly, I think one of the biggest parts of that was the fact that having more people around the house, that's one thing. And I don't know, it's not that people don't know in my home don't know that I have this YouTube channel, but I think recording these videos when other people are around makes it a little bit weird. First of all, because somebody can just walk by at any moment or might ask me a question or say something and just interact with me in general, right? And so I don't know. I guess I don't want to have to deal with that part of it. And then maybe it feels weird to try to speak plainly like this to a camera while somebody else could theoretically just be sitting right over there, which I don't know. That seems weird to me. Like, while I wouldn't really mind too much if I saw someone else doing it, I still would think it was pretty peculiar, and I would probably have my attention to some degree focused on that person who was creating the YouTube channel or the YouTube video at that time. So yeah, but anyway, I'm happy to be here again, happy to be back, and happy to say that the weekend went pretty well. I went back to my job. And so I'm grateful that I get to once again check off that unemployed box that I had before, at least that unemployed attribute that was assigned to me because I didn't have a job. But now that I do, you know, that's done and that's over with. So just trying to build on from here. Once again, I think I might have said this before in a previous video, but I do want to try to find a different position, um, at least closer to me from Monday through Friday. Hopefully, something that I could wake up really early and do and work maybe 8 hours Monday through Friday, because that would be really ideal for me. And then so I can come back home and then finish what I need to do for the rest of the day, having having actually gone somewhere and actually made the money and doing whatever. And the reason why I want to do that is because I don't like the fact that I have to use the Uber and Lyft to get to my job currently on the weekends, and it's fine for right now, but I don't want to extend that, and then that just becomes the money that I'm making. Because if I could find something closer, then if I could work the 40 hours throughout the week, Monday through Friday, and then get the extra 20 hours on the weekend, I feel like that would be really nice. And then also knowing that the 40 hours won't be, I guess, essentially the money that you're making, it won't essentially disappear, or a large chunk of it won't disappear just from traveling costs. So that's what I'm trying to look for next, at least in the near future. And so, yeah, um, I guess I'm a little disappointed because I was just coming up on a week of making these videos in a row. Like, I did it 6 days in a row, played the violin 6 days in a row, but it was just the timing of things. And the violin's a loud instrument. That's why I've been trying to play it in the laundry room, so that in the case of other people being home, I'm not really bothering them or anything. It's probably I would say, the most cornered off place in our house. So, I wanted to do it like that just so that, I wouldn't bother anybody else, because, when you live with other people, you just want to be respectful. And even though you're trying to pursue your own goals or dreams, or you just have this hobby that you're even trying to pick up with me and the violin, it's still nice to be respectful of other people and their time and their peace of mind while they're home. And so, I don't know, that's another reason why I stopped. But now that I have the time, and now that I can actually, come back and make a video, I think it's important for me to actually do it, because I was already thinking, okay, let me grab my violin, let me, get ready for this, and then get ready to make another violin video. And I started messing around with my violin a little bit, and I don't know, I started feeling a little unhappy because I felt like a little bit of progress was lost, at least a bit. I don't know. Maybe when you're doing it few days consecutively, you start to get more in a rhythm. But once you come back after a few days off, I feel a little that much more rusty, and I'm not even that good. But just the fact that it felt like it was harder to keep the bow straight, the fact that it felt like it was harder to keep the bow from bouncing, and yeah, so that was a little annoying for me. But I'm still gonna make a video because once again, I need to make the next step, and I want to just do, I think, one more video of the warm up type that I've been doing. Obviously not a really entertaining video. I don't think really any of these videos should be too entertaining, but I think that's the point, for people who want to pursue something, but you only see the glitz and glamour. And I've been over this many times, and I don't mean to sound bored with it, but I just don't want people to think that I'm trying to lecture them, or I don't want people to think that I don't recognize that I'm saying this. But I mean, this is the point of the channel, and so I feel like it's a point that needs to be really hammered home uh, in any opportunity that I feel like I'm slipping away from doing the very things that motivated me to make this channel. And so in this case, I'm just thinking about how I actually want to play the violin, and I want to show my progression through playing the violin. And just because I'm not feeling good with where I am right now, this is just another part of it, right? A few days gone for whatever reason, and I feel like still I could have been better about that. So, that's why today I'm just gonna make sure that I pick it up. That's why today I make sure I'm making this video so that, I can come back. I could stay connected to this because this is a really nice thing to be connected to. It really grounds you in something. It gives you something to do. And when I'm talking to you guys and telling you about like what I'm doing and telling you about what I plan to do, I feel extremely accountable. Like I feel like I'm being held accountable uh, by people who it's not even. I mean, I guess it's not many people watching, but if nothing else, I feel like I have to hold myself accountable just because I'm making this thing public, and somebody, theoretically could see me, and then I have to like show, okay, this is what I actually did. And hopefully as time progresses on, you'll see my life change, and there'll be proof of, at least for the things that I might not be able to record, it'll be proof of me actually going through, and proof of other things that I've been talking to you about that I'm not necessarily showing you. And so, yeah, I think that's why I need to get back on the ball with these videos, and I need to just try to find a way to, I don't know, just record them, even when other people are home. And I just need to get over that because this is really important to me, and I can't just sit and let I mean, you have to find a balance, obviously, but I don't think this is such a contentious thing to where I couldn't take the however many minutes just to make a couple videos and then play the violin for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then post that throughout the day. Like, I feel like that's not really a contentious issue, and I feel like it's more me making up excuses rather than actually having something solid. Yeah, having something solid actually keeping me away. I feel like the excuses aren't valid. And so I want to make these videos. I want to play the violin. I want to do other things like code and like coding as I have been doing. So it's important to me that I need to make these videos. And so, yeah, from now on, I'm going to try to make one every single day. And and even if it's not the case that I could always make like even if it's not the case that I could always make a long one or make it or have the conditions around me as ideal as I'd want them to be for me to make these videos, I'm still going to force myself to put something out just because I need to. And I need to continue to stay grounded with something. If nothing else, this is also just an exercise in continuity, exercising forming a habit, if nothing else. And so while I'm talking about it like that, I guess that's almost like a meta thing that this channel can be doing. The fact that I'm actually even creating the channel is a habit that I'm building, another part of me that I'm improving, a part of my character that I'm trying to fix. And so, yeah, I really want to stay connected to this. And I feel really good about what's been going on. I would say my life has been feeling more positive recently, and I could feel myself disassociating from a lot of I would say, like little pleasures, like, being on YouTube, for example, with other shows or channels that I like to watch, or watching like Netflix and Hulu and things of that nature, right? Like, I feel myself dissociating from I would say, unhealthy amount of time. Not that it's necessarily unhealthy, but unhealthy from a career perspective, unhealthy from achieving my goals perspective, right? That's where it's unhealthy. Um, I don't think there's anything wrong with taking in that content or anything like that. I mean, they're there. That's why people like them, you know? They give you other worlds to explore. People show you their dreams, their goals, the things that they've been thinking about, and their own creative sparks that they just want to share. So I don't think there's anything wrong with watching that stuff. I don't think there's anything wrong with watching it, but I think the issue really comes to how much you're consuming it and finding that balance. And so that's what I need to try to do. And I feel like I have been getting better about that because I feel my heart going more toward being productive. Like even before making this video, I was sitting saying, nah, like it feels weird. I already took a few days off. And it's like, okay, no, but this isn't about perfection. This is about continuing to try to do something, continuing to get your reps in, no matter what. That's the biggest thing that this channel is about. And even if I feel like I've fallen to some degree, just if I feel like I've fallen off just for the past like few days, right? It's important to bounce back. I think that's really another key issue, another key, I would say, piece of advice, piece of wisdom that my brain is slowly but surely like tuning itself to, right? Like just making sure that whenever I feel like something didn't go my way, coming back stronger, like immediately. And that feels good. That feels more powerful than anything. And I'm not doing it in like great strides or with anything super important now, but just even with in any case that it applies, making that a part of your character, making that something that you do, making that something that your brain says, okay, this is how we react in these circumstances. I feel like that's the most important thing for me to be doing right now, because college didn't work out, Nap Academy didn't work out, and a lot of things haven't worked out recently. And even over the last few years, I would say in general, right? Like not the way that I wanted things to go, at least from my career, from a career perspective, from my goal dream achieving perspective. So I really just want to make sure that I get in the habit of bouncing back rather than wilting, right? You need to get in the habit of whenever something comes and hits you, that's an opportunity for you to resist that resistance. You know, I think I might have said it before on the channel that I believe that the pain that you experience is to some degree proportional to the amount of joy that you're going to end up experiencing. So the amount of pain that you take now, that's the amount of joy that you'll have later. I truly, truly believe that, or at least hope that, and I'm going to just try to live my life with that being, my mindset, right? And so I'm just going to try to bounce back with everything. And me taking these few days off, me missing the opportunity to continue to upload for whatever little excuses I keep telling myself. I need to bounce back from that. Me feeling like, oh, well, I already feel like I'm worse at the violin. It's like, what's going to make me even worse if I don't play even more, right? So I can't keep avoiding it. I need to go right back at it and play, yeah, and play even longer and be even more consistent this time. So now it won't just be, okay, 6 days in a row and stop and then come back. Next time will be longer, make it far longer. As long as I can possibly make it, right? That's the whole point. Like to try not to break the chain, to be very consistent about this, to be really habitual about this, to make sure that I'm doing the meaningful things continually and making sure that I'm avoiding more of the stuff that's about consumption and easiness that just gets, spoon fed and like IV dripped right into me, right? So that's the whole point, right? The the more that I grow, well, I grow when I try to tackle things that I don't like necessarily, but I feel like could be beneficial to not only others, but your future self. Like Jordan Peterson said this, and I really liked it, how you also need to recognize that your future self isn't here and your future self is like a different person. So if you're doing well for that other person, that future self that doesn't even exist yet, that's analogous to you also doing well for others, right? Other people who do exist right now in the same time frame, and also maybe for their futures as well. And I think those are the sort of things that we need to try to aim for, right? That permanence, that doing things that will continually be beneficial throughout time at every iteration of every time frame, right? That's the type of stuff that we ought to be doing. And so me even playing the violin, I know that future Ronell will be a much better person, a much more satisfied person, a much more accomplished person if he has those skills. And so yeah, like I just need to really make sure that I continually go about doing this. And so yeah, I don't want to keep repeating myself. I have a bad tendency of doing so, but thanks to anybody who watches these videos. I'm trying to bounce back. I hope that whatever you're going through in your own lives, that you can bounce back, that everything's going well for you. I truly hope that, whatever your dreams are, whatever your goals are, that you can start to work toward them as well if you feel like you haven't been, and that you will continually work toward them and reach and achieve them and then go even further from that standpoint, right? If you aren't somebody who's struggling like I am, right? And that struggling in the case of me not being consistent, me not having maybe the sort of the character to be able to execute the things that I want to do. And that's what I'm learning. So overall, I feel like my life over the last however many days since I started this channel, I'm gonna say what it was Wednesday, so what, like 10 days, right? Something like that. My life has been improving. I already have my job back. Like I said, everything's been going well. And if nothing else, even if these last few days haven't gone according to plan, I still in the last 10 days have released many YouTube videos. I think something like 18, which is like, that's pretty good. I feel really good with that. So maybe this is number 19, and I'm going to continue to make many, many, many more because I like doing this and I need to stay consistent. Please bear with me, guys. Life is going to be amazing, but these little steps every day, they build up, right? And even though these steps don't seem far or too incredible, I'm learning to get further. I'm learning to get better. By doing these small things, I'll be able to do bigger things and take bigger steps and take even bigger steps. And, so yeah, I love you all. This has been Ro. I'll see you guys shortly when I start to play the violin again.